Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy
Welcome,
Monday to
welcome,
you,
welcome,
one and
everybody.
all. Let's go ahead and start with introductions, Derek. I'm going to let you go first. How about that?
Good evening, everybody. Well, I'm gonna greet the people first. Well, good evening. Hopefully, everybody's doing really well. Today is February 19th, and today is a great day to be alive. So, guys, I've been super active on my Instagram and Facebook today. So, hopefully, you guys have seen a lot of that stuff. We're in the middle of a rehab, guys. Day one of a rehab of a property. Guys, you hear us scream it for years that you don't have to buy the real estate to get into what we do. Guys, we finally bought a house that we're actually doing the ILF model in. So we're super proud of that. Congratulations to us. Right. So, welcome to the live podcast. Don't wait to be great. This is a special place where we teach people each and every Monday how to house the homeless, the displaced, or anybody that has a guaranteed income and they can't afford their own house or their own apartment. A lot of times people will come over to this side and get kind of what you see in these pictures. So I'm going to show a lot of pictures tonight. I'm going to show a lot of footage. I'm going to talk about a lot of kind of that house that we just purchased. So if you guys got questions, there's things that I will absolutely answer. And then some of the stuff I'm going to have to save, right? Because we are also doing a little bit of a master class at that same facility for a lot of our ILF Mastery Blueprint people. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about some brand new news that we'll probably talk more about next week. But we do have a master class coming up. And as you guys know, we do those probably once or twice a year. So that's the cheat code for a lot of people to get into what we do. People will travel from near and far to come to that master class. So make sure that you guys got your ears wide open. Make sure you got your social media channels open to Forston Consultants. Make sure that you guys are following us on YouTube, that you're subscribed. And again, make sure that you're following me absolutely on Facebook at Derek Forston. But everything else, follow us at Forston Consultants. And again, today and every Monday, it's no different. We show and talk about how in the world can you get into real estate a little bit of a different way than most people are familiar with. So again, my name is Derek Forston. I'm the owner and operator of Second Chance Housing. And that's my personal independent living facilities where we create pathways out of homelessness for homeless adults, right? So that they can be productive members of society. And we house everything from homeless adults, elderly adults, military veterans. They can also be teenagers aging from the foster care system. We love the women that are escaping domestic violence and women that are now widows because their husband passed away and they can't pay all the bills. That's the kind of the genre that my wife houses. So this new house that you guys are here us talking about today, this new ILF, that's going to be better known as the Angela Denise Foundation, where Shay is creating pathways out of homelessness as well for older women. Right. So you'll hear us talk about tonight how there's a lot of different genres and populations of people that you can serve. Not that Shay just kind of chose it, but that's kind of the need that the community screamed at Shay when she got into it. There was a lot of homeless elderly women, everything from 45 and up to 65 and up. So again, guys, I'm also the founder and thought leader of Forston Consultants, where my family and I, we go all over the world showing people exactly what this is. My wife and I, we're the kind of the head of it. But even above me and my wife is God Almighty. So God runs this whole thing, and he allows Shay and I to be kind of the overseers over it, to take a lot of people under our wing through our coaching, which is called our ILF Mastery Blueprint. And we teach people in all 50 states, how can you go and get a piece of property? How can you rent it, lease it? Or if God really bless you like we did this past week, you can buy one and take people from homeless to hopeful, guys. And the greatest part about you all, you don't have to own the property. Guys, this is the first property that we own as an ILF. Now, yes, we do own other properties, right? But that's for mom, dad, and kids and all of that stuff. But for the single individual male or the single individual female, guys, this is what this ILF life is all about. So I'm excited. I hope you guys have a lot of questions. Welcome to all of the new people. Complete families are joining us now. So I'm excited about that. Just a
That's
few
been
days ago,
exciting. Yeah.
Shay, the Wilson family had over 15 people in
They
front
did
of a TV.
Yeah, they did a watch
They,
party.
they turned it into a watch party.
That
So I'm
was pretty
excited about that.
interesting.
We have another family tonight, not as big, but I think it's about 7 people from one family. And I'll probably mess the last name up, but I think it's Trellis. So Trellis is your last name. So big shout out to the Trellis family. You guys asked all the questions that you like. I appreciate that you guys came together, brought some of your church family together, because again, we're going to unlock and show you guys how all of the years that you've heard that you had to have a license and that you had to own the property to do what we do, that is simply just absolutely not true, guys. We're going to show you how to house homeless adults or displaced adults, or somebody that just simply can't afford their own house or their own apartment, but they don't mind living in a shared living environment or a private room, Miss Shay. So these are the people that we serve. This is who we are, right? And again, my job is to make sure that, for one, I come and give you guys a lot of information, and then for two, somewhere in the middle and at the end of it, I need to be giving y'all a way to get into it. So today is also the last day for the Valentine's Day sale. We never usually stretch it out this far, but this year we did. So today, if you guys are interested in our one-on-one coaching, the ILF Mastery Blueprint, let us know. That's on a crazy Valentine's Day sale. That scholarship is still being able to be applied to it. So let us know if you're interested in that. Without further ado, I'm going to let Shay introduce herself so that she can tell you guys what she does and from what standpoint. I'm an LLC. Shay is going to tell you how she does the same thing that I do, but a little bit different. Miss Shay?
Give me 2 seconds, Derek. I'm actually doing something, but all right. Sorry, guys. I was actually typing. I'm on Instagram, so I'm responding to people there, and so forgive me. But hello, everybody. I am Shay Forston, the president and founder of the Angela Denise Foundation, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization located here in Orlando, Florida. We are partnering with all ILF owners and providers throughout Central Florida, all of Florida, I should say, helping to find housing and provide housing to women that have gone through human and sex trafficking, that have become, victors and come out of, abusive and really harsh relationships. So that is what we do here at the Angela Denise Foundation. And not only do we do that in the housing, the ILF, using the ILF housing model, we do that as a nonprofit organization. As I said before, I'm a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and I take women from homeless to hopeful. Again, it's just been a pleasure. I'm excited that I get the opportunity to assist even more women now with the addition of a new home that we are remodeling, to taking it from a we are taking this home from a 4-3. Yeah, we are taking this home from a 4-3, and we are transitioning it into a 5-3, so that we can take more women from homeless to hopeful. I am excited, y'all. We have been at the property all day today during demos. So you saw that we had our dog with us. We had the what we called him, Derek?
Demo dog.
The demo dog. We had Demolition Cash.
His name is Cash, but hey, he's Demo Cash, he's Demo Dog. He's got a couple names now.
So he was hanging out with us today and really enjoyed seeing all of the action and hearing all the noise going on. So I'm excited to see the outcome. I'm also excited for the people that are going to be able to join us, Derek, not only at the masterclass, but also our ILF family that will be able to tour this process and be able to see what's going on, the behind the scenes, any hiccups, any, our ups, our downs, the ebbs and flows of renovations, right? Derek and I this is not our first rodeo when it comes to renos, but this one in Orlando is our first. So I am so excited.
We're super excited.
I'm ready to get the case managers in. You know what, Derek? I think I'm going to put out a bulletin this week and have all of the case managers in the system kind of let them know what's going on and invite them.
It out.
Invite them.
And Shay, you're already leaning into something that these people need to hear tonight, because a lot of people talk about, well, Derek, how do you get the word out? Did you guys just hear what Shay just said?
I hope they
did you hear what she just said? And if you're local to us, or if you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, you can show this house just like it's yours. So in fact, I have a consultation tomorrow of somebody that took advantage of this crazy Valentine's Day sale. We're actually doing her first consultation at my office downtown, but then we are immediately going to the property. So big shout out to Miss Rita and Mr. Ken if they're on here tonight. Big shout out to you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then we immediately go to the property right after your first consultation. So I'm excited about that. I love it when we're teaching folks, when we're in the middle of either set up a ILF, whether I'm renting it or leasing it, which that's been 99% of the time. But this one time, now I get to take people through a renovation of one that we actually own. So I'm really excited about that. There she is. Perfect.
Hello,
So
See you tomorrow.
we
Yeah.
even hired a photographer. So guys, we're going all out. Tiffany, I'll probably do it. Tiffany probably said, dang, Derek, you're doing too much. Now, Tiffany, we hired a photographer.
She came out today.
We take a before and after pictures and during. I'm going live just about probably every day. But guys, you got to understand this, right? This has always been a dream of ours. I bought property in Georgia and other places and all of that stuff, right? And I've always bought out of town because it was very affordable. We always thought it would be a while before we bought in Orlando.
Yeah.
But now through knowing relationship and how deals work, I even told you guys on that video that, we probably even talk about tonight. How did we get that house? Years ago, I heard people talk about get a house, no money down, no money out your pocket. I thought that was the biggest scam ever.
Listen,
guys, we're living that now.
Now when you see it done, you're like,
right?
Man, how did we not think of this 10, 15, 20 years ago, right? It's so feasible. And you hear so many people talk about it on social media and all this, that, and the other. And you're like, well, bunch of hogwash, right? But it's not. Like, we've really been able to see some exciting stuff and being able to connect with some amazing investors that are ready and willing to separate from their properties. And it's just a matter of you being somewhat ready, in that position of ready, right? And that's where we were. And God opened up this door for us to be able to literally take over this property. And again, now I can take about 10 women from homeless to hopeful in this property.
Yeah. You absolutely could.
Once we're done with the
but Shay loves those private rooms too.
So
Shay's gonna probably do a couple of private rooms, but the math on the house that she told you guys, that's a 4-bed, 3-bath right now. We're turning it into a 5-bed, 3-bath. And if you know our math, and I'm not that great at math, but if you take the picture that you guys are looking at right now and just multiply that by 5 rooms, how many people do you get that you can take from homeless to hopeful? Let's turn this into a small math lesson, right? I'm not great at math, but if Shay just told you she's got a 5-bed, 3-bath home, how many women can Shay take from homeless to hopeful and everybody's living comfortably, not stacked on top of each other, 8 people per room? Just one person put it in the chat. How many people can she take from homeless to hopeful? I mean, she said it, but I just wanted people to realize literally by adding a bedroom, and you ILF Master Blueprint people, we're going to go deeper into the numbers with you guys, because what did Shay spend to turn that room into a bedroom?
Yeah.
Because most of you all know you got to have a window and you got to have a closet to be considered a bedroom. So what did Shay spend? And what is Shay going to recoup that once the evaluation is redone? And now somebody's going to say, this used to be a 4-bed, 3-bath. They spent more money and now made it a 5-3. It's now worth more money. But in the business of what we do, Shay now makes a bigger impact. Forget the money for 2 seconds.
Right.
The impact from her being able to house maybe Shay, 8 people, to now it can go to 10.
But let me explain what's really pushing the factor of wanting to add that additional room, right? I think a lot of times people are counting the dollars, but I'm counting my phone calls. When I realize that my phone calls are outweighing the number of beds that I have right now, I'm missing the mark, or I'm unable to satisfy the need of my community. And that's hard, especially when you're in this space and you receive those phone calls on a daily basis. And it's the woman that's really trying to get out of a really dangerous situation, or has gotten out of that dangerous situation, is staying somewhere with a family member or friend, and they don't want to bring harm to that individual. So again, when you get these phone calls in, it outweighs the monetary piece. It really does. It's that part of what can I do and how quickly can I do it to get more availability for the population that I serve. And that's really what helped us land on that decision of doing so. And that was adding that additional room. The home, like I said, they wouldn't even realize there's that many people in the house, because the square footage is immaculate. The house is separated very well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really comfortable. It's a beautiful split plan. I am going to utilize 2 sitting rooms, Derek. I'm going to talk about that really quickly. I am going to do 2 sitting areas. So that way our clients can be comfortable. So again, I am excited for those of you that are IMB members, which is ILF Mastery Blueprint members, that are going to get to walk through this property with me. You're going to get to see me get this place ready, furniture and all of that good stuff. You're going to see us doing a lot of things to get this place up and running and ready for our ladies to transition into. So I'm excited about that. If you have any questions for me or Derek on how we're doing this deal, when is I'm not going to go there yet, but we'll be releasing masterclass dates very soon.
Yeah, we'll talk more about
Yeah.
the masterclass next week. But people like Tiffany, people like Dornico, a lot of people that are in this room right now, they already kind of know, right? So the masterclass for a lot of people, guys, other than when we throw a crazy sale like the one that's on now, the masterclass is the other cheat code that a lot of people take advantage of because we only do them once or twice a year. Last year, I think we did one. The year before, I think we did two.
Yeah.
So usually for most people, and I'll just admit the masterclass is literally the ILF mastery blueprint in one day.
So
That's the only other time that we allow our paperwork to go along with something else without getting the ILF mastery blueprint. Because we don't want people just to take the paperwork and not know what they're doing. But the masterclass, you guys get everything. And it's usually somewhere between 5 to 7 hours of just straight content. It's live. We've never streamed it, right, Shay? I don't think we've ever streamed the masterclass, but we've been thinking about it. But just kind of keep your eyes and ears open, guys. If you've been kind of wanting an opportunity, if you've been wanting to meet us, Janine. So it's a lot of you older people that have been around us a long time, but we've never met. Right. So we want a lot of y'all to come through. See, people like Tiffany and Katara and Dornico, they've taken everything that we have. So the MSI group coaching, the master class, the ILF mastery blueprint. So we tell people to get in where you fit in. Miss Karan, thank you so much as well. I appreciate you and your husband. Her and I had a great call last week. Mr. Horace and Karan, they are also in the Orlando area where we are. So I'm excited that they're also wanting to join up and be a part of what we're doing. I love to teach anybody, no matter where you live. But I must admit, when people are close to us in proximity, it does make me a little bit more excited because they're in my backyard. So I'm not even sure where they live at, but I'm sure from where I live and where they live, I guarantee you it's less than 35 minutes away. That's how close in proximity that we are to them. So I'm excited. And just to give Miss Karan a great idea of even how the ILF Mastery Blueprint works, Miss Rita and Mr. Ken is also in this room from this Orlando area. Their first consultation is tomorrow. So most times I do it via, Zoom or StreamYard like I am now. But tomorrow, because I got this rehab going on, we're meeting at my office, probably about 2 hours or 2.5 hours. But then boom, immediately we're going to that rehab project. And she's going to hear a lot of things that I wouldn't just divulge on a live recording, but they'll get the deep down gritty of the numbers, all of that stuff, because most of y'all know it. Some of y'all don't, but we're also commercial brokers. So when you guys are ready to buy property, right, you can also go through us. So guys, we're a one-stop shop. And I always tell people, if you got certain things set up already, don't ruin it. Don't come to me. But if you have no clue how to do this, if you have no clue kind of what you can be approved for, and you want somebody that's honest and that you feel like you know and trust, go through us, qualifiedcircle.com. That's the website, right? So either A, get funded for real estate or get your credit fixed. And that's at qualifiedcircle.com.
I want us to tap into that really quick because I know people are probably saying, why do you all do so many things, right? And how do you do it so effectively and efficiently? So I want to tell you the reason why behind the whole becoming a commercial broker was because of the fact that we realized that we had a product at one point
that
in
we
time.
Must be in real estate.
Right. And not only that, but Derek, we had a product that people were paying us over $40,000 to $50,000 for. And the idea was, why won't we get these individuals prepared to enter into real estate? When we realized that that same amount of money is what we were spending and purchasing properties, we said, you know what, we've got to make a way on opportunity for those that want to really do this and make this their heart's mission or their heart's work, to have that opportunity. Don't spend $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 with me. Let us get you into a property or an asset now that is going to generate income and keep your family, like that can go from generation to generation.
Yep.
So that was the reason. And you'll see that everything that we build into Forston Consultants, even with our other businesses, solely branch off of the ILF model. So everything kind of fuses together. We don't want people to make the same mistakes that we did. We don't want you to have 7 different software systems to really get your brand, your word out there. We want you to, let us handle the heavy lifting of the website and all of that stuff, so that you can stay focused on getting the housing up and running and ready. Why not add a virtual assistant to that, right? It's all about making sure that
Yeah.
everything we do and all of our clients have an ease to get things done. So that is how we got into the space of commercial brokering, because of the fact that we realized so many people were either one, didn't want to make the phone calls to the landlords. They preferred that we did it. They preferred that we set up the house in its entirety. They accepted the fact that they expected for us to literally um, have residents in the house by the time they were given the keys. So they paid a big, healthy buck for that. And some people didn't want to buy assets. But others, we were like, you know what, guys? Like, if we could get them to fix their mind on purchasing an asset that can go from generation to generation and outlive, let's say something happens to dad, Lord forbid, and dad's now unable to run the ILF, but we can now put regular renters in this property and still make somewhat of an income or return off of this property and still help somebody, whether it's the single parent family, whatever it is. You can now utilize that asset in so many ways. So that is how we got into the space of commercial brokering and all the other businesses that we do.
Yep.
They all span from literally meeting a need within our business that we make sure you all get to do the same within yours. So Derek, back to you.
Absolutely. So I just want to make sure that we acknowledge all of the new people and also acknowledge everybody that's always hanging around us. So first of all, thank y'all so much for being here, right? There's a lot of places that y'all could be on these internet streets, but you chose to be here. So we always appreciate that. Also, if you're new to us, we have a free gift for you. So if you just type in the word new, and I'm going to give you the phone number to text it to, my team is actually going to give you a free gift. So we want to also acknowledge the new people. If you're new, just type the word new, because today we just kind of jumped in the middle of what this conversation is. But I always like to respect people and never just assume that everybody knows us. Right. So if I get one person that types the word in new, I usually tell the whole story from the beginning before I even get into it, because I never want to lose anybody. So last opportunity, anybody that's completely new to this channel and you don't know what we do, when you see these pictures about us housing people, and if you don't know what that is, type the word new. Because if everybody's family, we just gonna continue the conversation about kind of what's going on and how you guys can be a part of it. And then obviously I'll still do some teaching, but I want to make sure one more time, if we have anybody that's new, I want to make sure that we honor that. Okay.
We do.
Also,
we have someone new on Instagram, so welcome.
Perfect. Good stuff.
It's Hurry Up and Live.
Hurry up and live. Well, hurry up and
live.
live. If you allow me, congratulations, because I'm going to give you a masterclass right now by yourself. So if I were you, I'd share the room and I would share this with somebody else. But this is a room where we talk about every Monday night at 6 p.m. of how you can get into real estate. A lot of people think that you got to get into real estate just by getting a house, fixing and flipping it, or getting a house and rent it to a mom, dad, and 3 kids. We teach you how you can get a piece of real estate and you don't even have to own it. You can lease it or you can rent it. I've been in this game right here for a long time, but God has finally blessed me to buy one of these houses to do this ILF model. ILF stands for Independent Living Facility. And that's where adults are able to live and thrive without the need for medical staff and or oversight. So one more time, really quickly, here at Forston Consultants, we have our own dictionary. And what I'm super proud of, it took over 19 months to do it, but we actually own the registered trademark for it. So you better not go anywhere else and learn this model unless it's from us, right? We own the phrase independent living facility. Guys, I used to be a social worker, right, for over 9 years. So I also jokingly tell people, but I'm serious, who better to learn this from than the guy that saw both sides of the fence? Remember, guys, I used to be the social worker for 9 years referring these people out. But now today, I'm renting and leasing and buying property to do this same thing. Right. So I've seen both sides of it. So again, independent living facility, Shay, for nobody that don't know that. And what's most important out of all of those letters is the I. I stands for independent. That's what allows me to do this without owning the property and without needing a license. And Shay, you let me know if my friend's still here, because if she left me, I'm gonna be mad.
No,
But if my friend's still here, ma'am, this is the whole reason how we can open something that most people would call a group home. This is the cheat code to thinking that you wanted a group home. No, you didn't. You wanted an independent living facility, because a group home can take a long time to open. There's a lot of red tape to jump through. I got to ask permission from my government entities and agencies. But when they're independent, that means that they can live and they can thrive without the need for medical oversight. That means that they don't need my help. Guys, I'm not a nurse. I'm not a CNA. My wife tricked me to go to college, y'all. I just barely became a social worker, right? So I always tell people the only requirements to do what we do is a big heart for people, and you must love God. You love God, you love people, and if you love real estate, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
This is the greatest thing ever. I spoke to a lady today. In fact, it's so funny because I put a video out probably not even 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I thought you meant
it was a lady that was a realtor.
Yep.
And she was super interested in getting into this. I said, ma'am, if you love real estate, and I say, I ain't trying to judge you, and I ain't no preacher or no bishop, but if you love God, you love people and love real estate, this is the next greatest thing that you can get into, because this allows you to have an impact in your community. It allows you to feed your family, and it allows you to help a lot of people that will be homeless on the street without you. And again, a group home is very different. I need a license to do that. This independent living facility, guys, the reason why I don't need a license, because they can cook their own food. They can provide their own transportation. And guess what else? They can take their own medications.
Yeah.
I don't need to be a doctor. I don't have to be a nurse. I don't need a license. And neither do I need a sprinkler system. Miss Jones, who asked me that earlier today, and I said, join me tonight, and I'll answer that. Miss Jones, Shay is not about to spend $35,000 on a sprinkler system in that place.
Nope.
Because Shay, older women can cook their own bologna sandwich. Mm-hmm. They can prepare their own soup. They can take their own medications.
Exactly.
And they get their transportation done through usually their insurance company or the local bus system. I posted not even 3 days ago on my Instagram of me talking to Celine. Raise your hand if you if you saw that video of Celine, the older lady that's telling you that I don't drive them around, I don't cook their food. Just one person. Have you guys seen that video? Because a lot of people thinking that we're driving these people around. Guys, I was at a rehab site all day today, pretending to be the contractor, calling shots. Guys, I couldn't do that, Miss Angela, if they were not independent, if I had to cook their food. Janine, did you see it? I don't cook. Janine, I don't cook for Miss Celine. People think I cook for her.
Yeah, no.
People think I drive Celine around. I say, Miss Celine, I'm finna turn this camera on, and I want you to tell these people I don't drive you around because I'm too busy. She thought that was the funniest thing ever. She was ready for the camera. Most of my clients kind of love the camera. Some of them are shy and don't want no parts of it, but most of my clients beg for me to put them on camera. So again, guys, and I'm even tell you, especially if my friend's still here, where all of this started from,
listen,
guys, I saw a lady making $41,000 a month housing people in rats and roaches, doing something very similar to what I'm talking to you all about today. She literally would take a place just like this. The difference between us in this room and this lady, she did it in rats and roaches.
Yeah.
And guys, she still made $41,000 a month.
Yeah.
And I asked everybody this, Shay, and Shay, you can answer this too. Shay, before we pulled you from corporate America, if somebody told you that you can make $41,000 a month, Shay, would that have changed our lives a little bit, Shay?
I'm going to tell you this way, right? Somebody did tell me, and I looked at him like, you're stupid.
Somebody type in the chat, change my life. If you made $41,000 a month right now with your current situation, would that change your life a little bit?
It did. I mean, hello, you pulled me from corporate.
Somebody type that though, Shay. I want to know, because Shay, sometimes when we spit out these numbers, Some of these people, Shay, might be rich already, and 41 grand a month, Shay, may not be much.
I think it's good for
guys. I was
college
making
student.
$28,000 a year. Can somebody type the word "change my life" in the
It's
chat?
coming in on both sides. It's
What about
coming
my
in.
Instagram people? Would that change? Because Instagram people kind of they're rich people usually. Instagram are usually rich people, or they portraying to be rich.
Behave
Guys, I
yourself.
saw a lady, no joking, making
Yeah.
$41,000 a month doing this model
Every
right
month.
here. And guys, she refused to teach it to me. So it took me 7
Instagram
years to
saying change my
figure this
life.
out. Thank you, Instagram. Instagram, it took me 2 years to figure this out. What I now teach people in 45 minutes per se.
That's right, Joe 7. Joe says services can always be outsourced if needed.
So,
That
like,
part.
guys, like Tiffany said, it'll change her life.
Yeah.
Like 41 grand, y'all. Can y'all imagine what that made me feel like as the social worker making $28,000 a year? And I was the guy that was calling this lady. Hey, got another one. Hey, got another one. Hey, ma'am, got 5 more today. Hey, ma'am, got another one. She refused to teach it to me. But thankfully for all of y'all, I took a Saturday morning, and I went to see myself what they look like. Because, guys, I never saw the inside of a place.
Well, her place is that.
I had a job, I had a telephone, and a computer. I never saw the inside of an ILF, a group home, an ALF, a housing program. So I didn't really know where to start at, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't have a starting point. But I knew one day that if I could get into what that lady showed me on her phone, and trust me, I got a whole spiel about don't get into this just for the money. And believe me, I was one of the poorest guys going, so I wanted to make money. God is just so genius how he made this model where he combines real estate and social services together. And guys, trust me, I'm no bishop, I'm no pastor, and I'm no priest, but we love God, we love people, and we love real estate. Yeah. God allowed us to combine all of that together, put it in a blender, and now my wife and I, my mom, my entire family, we poured all over the world. And even though my brother passed away in November, he's still pouring it all over the world through his message and his voice. Yeah. My brother's voice is recorded in all kinds of places. YouTube, Clubhouse, anywhere where we spoke, where it's recorded. So even my brother's message, who physically left us on November 28th, his message lives on. Yep. Thank God for social media. Thank God for YouTube. Shout out to YouTube. Right?
Listen,
jump in there, Shay.
We got questions coming in like
I love questions. Talk to me.
Instagram.
I love questions.
All right, so I've been answering them in the chat, but I do want them to so that all of our people online, period, YouTube, Facebook, everybody can hear it. So the first question was, give me a second. Do you have paid staff?
I love that question. No, I do not. That's the great thing that about this model, guys, is independent living facilities. The I is most important. They're independent. So why would you kind of need staff? Now, I'll admit, over the years, we've had a kind of a handyman here and there. And I did, once I got up to like 13 properties at one time, I did hire a guy to kind of oversee a little bit. But guys, for the most part, most of y'all, when you get into this, until you get about 8 properties, there is no staff. Because the clients that you're serving, they're independent.
Yes.
Remember, they cook their own bologna sandwich, they take their own medications, and they provide their own transportation.
Right.
Why do I need staff?
Mm-hmm.
So again, and I can get deeper into this later, and definitely once you take our coaching, but a big part of what we do is called the assessment, and that's getting the right people in. Correct. Because that's what makes all of this run like gold. If you get the wrong people, this can be a clown show. I'm a coach that'll show you both sides of stuff, because even when I started my program, Second Chance Housing, it was a clown show. Because guys, I didn't know what I was doing.
Y'all, it was a mess.
That lady that was making the 41 grand a month that was doing it wrong, she wouldn't even teach me. She said, Derek, I'm going to show you what I make doing this a month. And she scrolled to her phone and just showed me. She said, but I'll never teach you how to do it.
Hold up. I'm going to tell, right? So Derek was on the phone with her one day. And I just so happened to walk in and I heard him on the phone with this lady and I saw him. He's like, get me a pen. So I get the pen.
I'm thinking she finna give me the game, y'all.
And literally she heard the pen. It was a pencil. I gave him a pencil.
Scratching on that paper.
And you can hear the pencil scratching on, like writing on the paper. And she was like, what are you doing? I didn't tell you to write this down. What are you doing? What are you doing?
She's like, just listen. Don't write nothing down. I was like, if she don't want me to
I
write this
said,
down and she really
no
ain't even
way.
talking, this must be powerful.
It was crazy. It was crazy. Tanae, hop on YouTube, sis. Tanae is here. Hop on YouTube, sis. Come to YouTube because we're streaming, simulcasting. So I won't
What's
be
going
able
on, my
to.
Clubhouse people? If you guys are on Clubhouse, come over to YouTube. Just click that link at the top. That way you guys can see the slideshow and
Yes.
also interact with everybody else. I'm going to even encourage my people on Instagram. I love that you all are there. But if you can, come over to YouTube. That way you guys can be involved in that other chat.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, they don't show me the Instagram chat. Now, Shay can see it, but I can't unless I open my other phone. So you Instagram people, come
I
on
got
over.
more questions from Instagram. Okay.
Let's keep it going.
All right. So do we have to have a license? Let's just confirm that one. Do you need a license to do this?
Absolutely no license.
Okay. Got it. So that was it. That was another question. Are we accepting? Do we only take private pay?
We take SSI, SSDI. That's a
Yeah.
government stipend, but we
That's
also
private
take
pay.
pay from private pay for people that have a job at McDonald's,
Yep.
Walmart, Sonny's Barbecue, right? So it doesn't matter to us as long as it's a guaranteed form of payment. We also take people that come from a program. So we work with programs from the jail system, the local COC. So any kind of way to where the income is guaranteed.
And then I have a message here from First Generational Grace Homes LLC. Okay, so Tanae, I think Tanae jumped over to YouTube. She says, "Tell her Jennifer is here. I work with Tanae in Clearview Eastern Fund." So she says, "Tell her to get in here."
She says,
So,
"What now?" I'm sorry.
She works with Tanae. It's Jennifer.
That was Jennifer?
Yeah, it's Jennifer.
Okay, so
hey,
that wasn't Tanae?
Tanae is here. She's in YouTube now.
What's
I see
going
her
on,
now.
Tanae? Hi, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to do a quick room reset. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're discussing how to start your own independent living facility, and that is literally a house, right? A regular 4-bed, 2-bath home, a 3-bed, 2-bath home, and we put 2 beds in each room, unless you get a call from that military veteran that doesn't want to share, and he wants this private room that you see on that screen. But most people that we serve, they're going to end up in a room just like this, to where there's 2 people per room. This does not require a license because, again, an independent living facility, which we've coined and we've trademarked, is different from a group home. A group home, you have to have a license. You have to own the property. You need staff. The ILF model, you do not need staff. There is no license, and you can get started tomorrow. That's how fast this can happen, guys. We're with an ILF.
And it's all about structure as well, right? We teach you how to structure, we teach you how to manage, we teach you how to vet these individuals that may come into your home. And we also teach you how to navigate the space, right? A lot of times people get into this space not really understanding how to navigate multiple personalities with being held or housed under one roof. So that's where we come in and we show you what that looks like. How do we navigate this space? How do we restore order when order needs to be restored?
Yep.
And how do we even assess based on the clients that are already in the house? So that is what we're training you. We're walking you hand in hand through that process. For those like Tiffany, Tiffany has been with us for several years, and she's always had, like, when she calls, she'll call Derek and be like, "Hey, I got this assessment. Can you be on the call with me?" So there's things that we partner with you and walk you through to make sure that you're doing it right. Because there may be something that Derek picks up that you may not pick up on that call because it's your first or fifth assessment. There may be things that, again, that I may pick up on that call that when I hear about the people you already house, I may say, no, that's a red flag. I wouldn't do that if I were you. So again, these are the things that we consult our clients in, and we help you navigate the space to make sure that you're making the right decision when you're bringing someone into the ILF. Tanae, I need to call you tonight as well.
So there's another question about HOAs. So absolutely no HOAs. We do not recommend doing this in an HOA. Most likely 99.9% of the time in the fine print, it says that you can't run a business out of an HOA. Yeah. You can't do Airbnb. You can't have a group home or a housing program, or again, a business in the HOA. So we do not do that. Also, most HOAs are gated, right? Our clients most of the time don't drive, right? Yeah. So if I had to kind of count all of our clients, I'll say 96% of them don't drive and don't have a car. Shay has 2 ladies that actually have a car.
3.
Right? 3. Mm-hmm. None of mine. Let me think. Yeah, I don't have any clients
Not
that
right now,
drive,
you don't.
guys.
Yeah.
Right? So that could change in the future. But just to answer your question, Miss Karan, absolutely no HOAs. We don't do that. And I actually answered that on a video about a week ago. Because I do that one often because we get that question a lot. So yeah, no HOAs.
Yeah.
I don't want you guys to get kicked out because they'll kick everybody out. You as the renter and your client. So we don't want to start a bigger problem by being inside of an HOA.
Correct. You got it. All right. So I think is this running as a nonprofit?
I'll answer the
Well,
first part and I'll give the second part to Shay.
go for it.
That's a personal preference. I'm an LLC, Second Chance Housing. Now I'll let Shay answer what she is.
I am a nonprofit, 501c3, registered and recognized. So it's up to the individual. It's up to what you want to put behind your ILF model. The additions or the adding of partnerships within the community. Prime example, I have a partner here in the community that is going to furnish part of my home, the one that we're doing the renovations on, and they can do that for me, but they cannot do it for Derek, right? Because I'm a 501c3. So there's certain things there are certain things that I can benefit from that Derek as an LLC cannot and will not be able to benefit from because of his entity type. Also for me, I get quicker partnerships in some instances in regards to when different EOC dollars are coming out and stuff like that. A lot of the community funds are quicker to partner with nonprofits than they are with for-profits, depending on the funding type. So again, it just really depends. You can be either or, it don't matter. It does not matter. Hey, Mom Forston.
What's up, Mom Forston? You guys give a shout out to Mom Forston. Big shout out to Mom Forston.
You know what? Okay.
Who's our spiritual oversight.
Tomorrow, I'm a pull Mom's leg to get her on this live stream with me.
She over there smiling right now.
I can just see it, right? You just big for no reason.
I can. She's about 50 minutes from where I live at, but I can feel her smiling as you said that, Shay.
I'm gonna get you on tomorrow, Mom. I'm gonna have you on the live with us, okay?
All right, guys, let's jump back into it. So, Shay, any other questions from the audience or from Instagram? And again, guys, if you're on Clubhouse, make sure you're joining us. Oh, I don't see anybody on Clubhouse, so we're good. Everybody came over.
So
good.
Instagram. Can you own the real estate and operate as a nonprofit? I just bought a house. So I one thing about me, and this is just how we do business, I don't want dual liability on behalf of my organization. So my house is under a different entity, but my business is running out of that house and paying that other entity. If you get what I'm saying.
I gave somebody the other day that similar strategy.
Yeah.
So we're not giving tax advice.
No.
That's why I love the ILF Mastery Blueprint, because Lynette, the business maven, my accountant, she comes with that package.
Yep.
So usually when people ask that stuff, I shift you right over to Lynette. But absolutely, guys, and this is me not giving advice, but a very smart way that a lot of rich people do it was they'll have like the nonprofit be like the face of things, but the way that you collect rent or money is through an LLC.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That could be very smart. Now, that's not me giving tax advice or any kind of financial advice. I'm just saying a lot of people do it that way, and that's a very smart way to do things. Run it by your lawyer, your tax consultant, or anybody that's helping you with your books. But you can absolutely be a nonprofit, guys, and still do this and make money. We get that question all the time. Can I make money because I'm a nonprofit? Shay, what would you say to that? Can you make money, Shay?
Yes, I can, but I have to go through some oops to get it, right?
Not as freely you're able to move the money like I can with the LLC.
Right. Now, if you have a board that's fully loaded, you get what I mean by that. You can do whatever the heck you want until somebody finds out. But I'm all about operating in order, right? We're going to do things right. We're going to do it in order, and we're going to do it to the best of our know-how. My board for the first 2 years told me you cannot get paid. So I said, okay, no problem. I think my husband makes enough money for the both of us right now. So I did not take a paycheck. And right now, because of other entities that I have operating, I don't need to request a paycheck from my board of directors. So all of the funds that come into the Angela Denise Foundation stay within the Angela Denise Foundation. and it allows me to do other things in my organization. But if I wanted to acquire a paycheck or a salary, yes, I could get a salary, but it has to be in your not in your bylaws, in your minutes, and you've got to show that your board approved for the salary and the fee of the salary. So that's how we did it.
Good
But I
stuff.
don't take it. I don't have a salary from my nonprofit. No
Good
need.
stuff. So, question from Joe7, and if I'm saying that wrong, please correct me too. It says, "Do we need renters insurance for this business?" That's a great question. I'll trump that a little bit and say that you need a general liability policy. I'm very transparent here. One of the largest and biggest mistakes that I made was not being covered in the beginning. Got a $30,000 lawsuit because of it, right? So, dummy me, and I teach this, right? And I'll just give it for free right now. This lease for this house that you see on this screen is not in my name. That was one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever made. If you forget everything else I said tonight, and this goes for everybody, especially if you're thinking about the Island of Mastery Blueprint, or if you're about to get a house or rent one, that lease does not go in Derek Forston's name.
You'll be
right?
wide open.
I want that on second chance housing. Dummy me in the beginning. I didn't do it that way, right? So I would rather you have a general liability policy. Renters insurance is still good in some cases, and we talk about that on another subject. But to the bottom line for everybody that's hearing it right now, make sure that you're protected. Everybody loves to sue you, no matter what. If you're doing good, if you're doing bad, if you're being honest, people love to lie.
Yep.
And what I've learned, you can sue somebody and not need proof of nothing. It's up to you to prove that you didn't do it.
Right.
Anybody can sue y'all.
Hey,
Like,
and
I didn't know
listen,
that shit until I got into business.
Derek, and it'll cost you 30,000
It,
plus.
it'll cost a bunch of money just to
fight for
prove
your
that you were right.
innocence.
So, guys, be covered, get
So
covered,
fight for your innocence, okay?
right?
Don't do
And,
it.
and just so that Job 7 knows it, my whole life is structured that God is I don't know why it's like this, but God has built Shay in our life to kind of go through a lot of bumps and bruises through
God.
stuff, and then come back and teach it to people.
And it's a
So
lot of stuff.
that's another reason why we have multiple businesses, right? People want to do a lot of what we're involved in. Now, did I know my life was going to be that way? No. Would I have chosen for it to be that way? No. But everything Shay and I kind of go through or have, it's never came easy. And it's usually with the bumps, the bruises, and lawsuits. But my job is not to keep the information, is to turn around and teach it to people so that y'all don't make that mistake.
Yeah, how can we
Right.
make it possible for you to avoid the
Yeah.
headache, the heartache, right? How can we make it possible for you to avoid those obstacles, right? Let us chart the course and put it on the map and guide you, right? We're gonna run this thing with a compass, right? Ain't no trail, ain't nothing. We got a compass and machetes. We going through the bushes and we cutting down the trees right as we go, looking for the bright northern star, right? And then we come back and we literally give you all the roadmap of what this is, how this works, how it operates, how to make a big impact in your community. My goal, I'm getting a new virtual assistant on board tomorrow. Ooh, that is tomorrow. And I have to their first order of duty is I've got to get back into my regular meetings with our commissioners, right? I need them to know that I'm opening a new house. Come on out and see it. Come check it out. Let me show you what I do. Come check out the other ones. Let's see how we can partner in this community. What resources are in this community that we can affect and assess and assist the people in this area. So again, it's you want to make sure that you're set up and structured right so that you can have those conversations with those people in high places. The minute you don't set up right and you try to go knocking on their doors, they're going to knock back on yours and tell you to shut it down, right? And that's not what we want. So let us charter the course and come back with
We've
that
made
map
all the mistakes,
to help
guys,
you
so that you don't
guide.
have to.
Exactly.
That's literally what Shay is saying. Like, we've made all the mistakes so that
100%.
you guys don't have to. And also, that's the saying that says we've paved the way. That's what that means for us, that we've made all of the dumb mistakes, all of the dumbest decisions, so that you guys don't have to. So back to that question that says, what does it look like, Derek? Guys, I don't own this house. And if I wanted to put 15 people in this place, it could fit comfortably. Now, I'll admit, we usually max this place out somewhere between 9 and 11 people. But can you guys imagine your current job, especially if y'all were like me? Like, I'm very honest and just open. Guys, I was making 28 grand a year and felt like I really wasn't making an impact in life the way I should. And that's why I call God a genius, because God combined social services, my wife tricked me to be a social worker, and real estate together. So again, now guys, like the thought process that I had when I first got into this was like my third house. This is when I got the mindset of, man, you know what? I can leave my job doing this. And that's when the light bulb came on, man, I can do this for the rest of my life and be good. And I'll never forget. I said, Shay, I think I just found out what's going to save the rest of our life.
Yeah.
I told my brother that. Like I was thinking about my brother just the other day, and I posted something about 3 days ago. And I said, this was the first time I introduced the I left to Otis. And I told y'all how me and Otis are. We went back and forth. Otis didn't need a bunch of explanations. He didn't need you to explain it all. He said, bro, can we help people? Yes. Bro, can we make some money? Yes. And bro, will it please God? Yes.
He said, let's do it. Let's
so I love it. And again, if this is what y'all live by, I just want about 5 of y'all to type the word yes. Because this is what all of us should have a goal in life. Y'all should want to please God, help people, be respected by your community, and make enough money to feed your family.
That part.
Can I get 5 people to type the word yes? That's
Listen,
me.
I have an amen over here on Instagram.
Instagram, y'all just type amen.
Instagram giving me the amen.
Because Shay, the way I view that, now we house the homeless, and I hope y'all would love to do it too. But if you don't,
I got a yes.
Your genre, your thing in life that you should want to do, please God, help people, and I want my community to respect me while I'm doing it.
Yes,
because they're gonna play a part in it. Guys, this is for my community, for my city, for my state. I teach it so that it goes beyond Florida. But guys, I want y'all to help people, love God at the same time, be respected by your community. And I'll just say it, I want y'all to make a bunch of money to be able to feed your family, but also build the kingdom of God. Remember, guys, I'm no preacher, I'm no bishop, but in that Bible, it says that the poor and needy will always be among us. That means, Shay, this model will always be around, Shay. It's always going to be a poor guy that didn't make it through life, but now they gave him a check and he need a place to live at. He can't buy a house and he can't buy his own apartment.
But
Shay.
Derek, listen to this. This is what I want you to land on right here. This is what I want to just really talk about for a second. What people don't realize is 99.9% of these individuals that we house cannot get access to any of their basic necessities without what? An address.
Need an address.
Can't get a job, no address. Can't get continued services because case management teams are starting to get more leery of going and providing services in the woods. So now what are we doing? What happens to that person that has a mental health diagnosis, wants to get better or do better, but can't find a place to stay, can't afford to be outside of other than the woods? The case management teams are trying the hardest to get there, but guess what? The community goes against that little housing community in the woods, and now they shut it down. So now the case manager can't find their client anymore. And now that person's back off of medications, not medication compliant, and now they're running in and out of the hospital, in and out of mental health facilities, going back and forth to jail. Derek, this is the prime example of Mr. Arthur.
Yeah.
The prime example of a 70-plus-year-old man and I've talked about it in this room a couple of weeks ago about how he hit a bump in the road. He got ill. He was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. What was his profession, Derek? He was an engineer. Gets sick, no wife, no kids, none. Loses everything in the hospital for what, 6-8 months, something like that. Now he's living at Disney on park benches, showering in Disney's property, on Disney property, getting trespassed, getting thrown in jail. This is what people don't realize, the importance of having an address. Thank God that we all have a roof to live under.
Amen.
Thank God that we can say, hey, this is my mailing address. For those of us that are applying for jobs, you know how many people cannot even get a job because they do not have a secure place to stay? So again, guys, this is the benefit of what we get to do. We get to see people's lives changed, their mental health stabilized. We get to see them reunited with family members and loved ones and friends. I mean, Miss Celine, prime example. The day after I had gotten Miss Celine, I spent, this is right in the heart of COVID. We spent 2.5 hours in the bank line because it was only drive-through services. And as soon as I get her back to the house, I get a phone call from a detective out of South Florida saying, we've been made aware that you may have been the last contact of this individual. And I said, oh Lord, can you give me 2 seconds? Because now I got this lady sitting in the car with me and I'm trying to make sure everything's on the up and up. So I get her in the house. And you want to know what the story was? Her kids thought she was dead. They thought she had been murdered. They found her car in some abandoned parking lot, hundreds of miles from where she was, down south in Miami. She lived down south in Miami, guys, in an apartment. And one day she lost her bearings, drove and ended up in Melbourne, Florida, living in her car. Two people got in the car with her. And she was just smart enough to escape from them and go to the hospital, and they stole the car. Her family thinks she's dead. Really?
Older lady.
And this is an old lady.
She's on
Derek's social media. So this is the benefit of what we do and what you can do to help individuals. The stories I can tell you about the hearts, the lives, the people that we've been able to help and help them facilitate back out of a crappy situation into a successful place. We had the young girls. We had all young women at one point. So for those of y'all that think I don't take younger women in my houses, you're wrong. I go with the need of my community. It fluctuates. But when it does happen, guess what? I got to see a young mother reunited with her 5-year-old son because she was able to find somewhere to live. She was able to get a job, and then she was able to start getting visits. And guess what ended up happening? She got her own apartment, and now she has her full custody of her son. This is what we do. This is what the facility can do. This is the benefit of being able to help those and take them from homeless to hopeful. Derek?
Hey, what's going on, family? Just to let you know really quick, everything that you're listening to right now, I actually have it in a more structured way in a webinar. So when you guys get done here, go to forstonconsultants.com, click the tab that says webinars, and there's 2 webinars there. One is for you to be the actual ILF operator, meaning that you want to do it. And then the other one is the HRA. That stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you're able to take people from homeless to hopeful, and you actually don't need the real estate. It stands for a Housing Referral Agency, and we call it a business in a box. But definitely go to forstonconsultants.com, watch both of those webinars, then set up a free strategy call with me and my team, and let's see how we can get you started. Back to the show. All right, good stuff. You heard the guy. So when this is over, when this live is over, guys, make sure you go and watch the webinar. That's the first step to actually getting on the phone with us to see, can we work together? So a lot of people either find us on YouTube or they watch that webinar and then they immediately set up a free strategy call. So let us know if you guys want to get into this already. Again, if you're new to us, text that word new to 407-326-0086. We got a free gift that we want to get to you. So again, if you're new, just only text the word new, N-E-W, to 407-326-0086, and we want to get you a free gift. Now back to the show, because right here is when people say, well, Derek, what does it look like? Some people think I go and buy this big commercial building that's like a 65 units. Guys, I go and get a regular house just like this, and I'm going to rent it. Because remember, before I got all fancy and bought this house that y'all saw me rehabbing, guys, I was a poor social worker making 28 grand a year. How in the world was I going to buy a house? Yeah. So we learned how to rent these places or lease them. Some people call it that famous word rental arbitrage. But essentially, guys, you guys gonna have to lease or rent a property. That can come from Zillow, that can come from realtor.com, that can come from just word of mouth of people knowing what you do. I'll admit the last two rentals that came to us, I didn't advertise that I needed it the way that I teach y'all to do it. Guys, the need came to me because people know what we do. Yeah. They look at me. Most landlords look at me and just see me as a dollar sign. They see me and see money because they know I pay guaranteed rent. Ooh. Guys, I'm also a landlord and I rent to people and families. I also want guaranteed rent. So when a landlord finds out that your program, see how I'm putting y'all in it now, that your program pays guaranteed rent, that's what makes you a no-brainer. So our coaching primes you of what to say, how to say it, and probably most important, who to say it to. Because most people that do this the wrong way, Shay, they're talking to the wrong people and they're using the wrong verbiage and they're saying the wrong things, guys. There's verbiage that goes with this. How in the world you can rent a house like this by not using the right words? And I'll just be honest because I'm so transparent. This guy didn't trust me. He told me he didn't like me. He didn't know me. He said, bro, I don't know what this is you talking about. But if you want it, and I'll admit, y'all, he gave me a big old number. He charged me first, last, and a double deposit. And because I'm just so transparent, I'll tell y'all, it took me over $7,000 to get in this house.
It was a little bit more than 7.
It was around that. Might have been a little more, but just to round it off. And guys, I'll be honest. I said, boy, if I get in this house and if I never get another one, this house going to save my life. Because that $7,000 going to seem real small after about 3 or 4 months of me having 9 to 10 people that would have been homeless without me. What makes this beautiful, y'all? Watch this. I'll provide a product that the people that I house, they can't go buy a house. They can't get their own apartment. And most of them can't even afford their own private room. So when I tell them that I have a setting that's 2 people per room, as long as they don't mind living in a shared living environment, this is going to be for them. Yeah. And again, this is the one that Shay just bought. Shay's going to be able to take somewhere between 8 to 10 women from homeless to hopeful in this place. Now, she bought that one. Today. But all of these, rental, that's a rental. Check this out. Somebody was selling that place. Yeah. Look at the sign, guys. Guess what? When I teach you how to go to this guy and say, hey, man, don't sell it. Rent it to me. I pay guaranteed rent. Oh, really? Really? Tell me more. Now we take that for sale sign out of that window, and some of y'all surprised that it's in a mobile home. Absolutely. I prefer to be on its own land and not in a mobile home park. Somebody gonna go and get one of these big old things. You're gonna get bougie. No problem, because in this place, you can probably put 10, 11, 15 people in it. That's a 7-bedroom, 4.5 bath. You know how many people you can take from homeless to hopeful in this place? Exactly. But the point of these pictures is to show you again what it looks like. And like Shay told you, even though you got a mind frame of who you want to house, let the community dictate what the need is. Yeah. But just for the fun of it, I would love if 10 of y'all right now can put into the chat, what population are you thinking to serve? Because I'll admit, I love the military veterans and I love them elderly adults. Yep. I love the guy and the lady that's 75, 85, 95, and 105. That's my lane. I love it. But do I have some young guys? Absolutely. But most of my young guys got an old soul. They don't want to go out. They're not looking for the club. They don't want a girlfriend. Who got Young Buck? That's Tiffany Walker. That's Katara. No, that's Katara. Katara got Young Buck. Young Buck. She got a Young Buck and the guy that's about 80 years old. They get along perfectly. And the young guy called the older man Young Blood. Young Blood. Young Blood. That's it. Young Blood. So again, guys, to me, this isn't rocket science. I'll never forget when that lady showed me she was making $41,000 a month, housing people in rats and roaches. Guys, she did it in houses just like this. And she says, Derek, I don't own these places. And y'all, that was the biggest cheat code she could have ever told me. Even though, guys, she didn't teach me how to do this, the day that the lady that was making $41,000 a month doing this in rats and roaches, mistreating people, Shay, the day that she said, Derek, I don't own these places. You think I own these places? Shay can tell y'all how I drove home, sped home to tell her this story as I'm crying. I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm heartbroken, because I'm watching somebody do what I want to do.
Derek, you used to threaten that you was going to take me to her houses if I didn't help you. He did. Derek was like, I'm going to take you and drop you off because you got to see it for yourself.
I said, Shay, you got to see
I said,
this.
no, I'm good on that.
I say, Shay, this lady making $41,000 a month. And here I am struggling, trying to feed my family at 28 grand a year. And I'm the dadgum social worker sending her all of these people.
What you going to do about it, big mouth?
And that's exactly what Shay told me. Thank God for a good wife, too.
What you going to do about it, big mouth?
Some men would have got offended by that. Now, I'm going to take 2 seconds and speak to my guys, because a lot of women come into this. My guys, the cheat code of life is a good woman. Some men would have got offended by saying, well, what you going to do about it, big mouth? You keep talking about this group home thing, this housing people. What you going to do about it?
Y'all
Derek, write it down.
Derek, you talked about it the whole time we were on vacation.
Guys, we took a vacation, and Lord knows when you take vacation, you're supposed to relax.
Not one minute.
Drop business. Guys, I talked about this model for the entire time on vacation. This one across from me, because y'all don't know, but Shay is like 12 inches across from me. I can touch her hand, right? That lady said, Derek, you got to write it down. She brought back that scripture type stuff. Shay is no priest and she's no bishop. But Shay said, Derek, the Bible says, write the vision and make it plain. But watch this. Most of y'all, when y'all hear that version, y'all think that means for y'all all the time. Write the vision and make it plain so that when I read it, I can run with it. God had a different assignment for me. Derek, I want you to write the vision and make it plain so that when Angela reads it, when Miss Karan reads it, when Mr. Horace reads it, when Janine and Joanne reads it and Tiffany reads it, they can run with it. Derek, don't forget, I built your whole life for you to go through the mistakes, the bumps, and the bruises, Derek. And I'm going to grace you through it, though. But Derek, your job is to turn around and go teach it to other people with your beautiful wife, Shay. And guys, that's my whole life. We went through the bumps and the bruises just so that you guys can have an opportunity to get into this. That lady didn't show me nothing. She refused to teach me. So I'm going to say God showed me a lady that was making $41,000 a month.
Said, run.
And see how I'm beating my fish on? That's the way I came home talking to Shay.
Yeah.
She said, big mouth, what you going to do about it?
He was so upset.
Doug, you got to write it down.
What is wrong? I was like, bro, like you can't do this. We ain't doing this. No, Figure it out. Figure it out. Right? So, Derek, I do have a question. How much is your program?
My program is well, actually, the one-on-one coaching share is 15 grand, but there's a scholarship right now that drops it to 7,500. And if they're a part of that email campaign, they probably got a crazy Valentine's Day sale, and that actually ends tonight at like 9 o'clock. So if they're in the email, it actually probably gets lower than that. But just for everybody that's listening, because if you're not a part of that email, you have no clue what I'm talking about. But the 15 grand, there's a scholarship, guys, that'll drop it to 7,500. And that's what a lot of people have been jumping on lately. So, yeah, that's the price of the one-on-one coaching. Yeah.
Love it.
And if you're enjoying this tonight, imagine you and I doing this every day until we get you where you need to be, like Tiffany and Dornico and Qatar and all these other people that are in here.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of testimonials right inside of this room. So you guys can tap in the chat and say things that if you've been taught by us, or definitely, I always encourage people to be nosy about us, right? Go on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, because I guarantee you, even though I love questions, you guys can ask one question tonight that's not already on my YouTube channel, probably.
Yeah.
Like we give it away, guys, right? The one-on-one coaching is for people that say, well, Derek, I want you to hold my hand, bro. I don't want to watch your 55 videos, Derek. I want to be able to call you and be in your back pocket.
Yep.
That's the one-on-one coaching, the ILF Mastery Blueprint.
I love it. I love because the ILF Mastery Blueprint doesn't just consist of the ILF model. We've seen people like Dornico branch off and start a whole nother business.
Yeah.
Right. And it's exciting when
and that's because our business coaching is also involved in that same package. So no matter what you want to do.
Right. Like I have a client that I'm personally consult. I have two actually, but one of which who was so gung-ho about the ILF model, I had to tell her, wait, hold on, sis.
Yeah.
Your husband has a whole thing going over here that needs
Big
to get
business.
like we need
Let's
to
get that one running.
Can we do this first? And then we back doodle over here. Hey Ma, you heard me, right? I said back doodle. That's Ma's one. But I said, then we can get back over here to this. Cause you missing out on hundreds of thousands over here. Like hold the phone, sis. Let's not do that. Let's get this thing set up and done right. Your husband needs you in this first, because now this, once he is out of it, that can become a passive stream of income for you. And that's when you start going this other route, because now when that thing is solid, you now hire your residents that have the ability to work at this other industry, at this other entity, right? So that's what we do. I mean, we see people go from working full-time jobs to look at Francesca and Jay.
Yeah.
Frankie's biggest
Multiple
goal
businesses
was
now.
he told her, go ahead and do it. You want to do this? Let's do this. And they've got multiple businesses.
Francesca
Now,
came into it with the goal of retiring her husband. Like that was her goal.
Who is a
she's
licensed electrician. And right before Christmas, they called us on the phone and pretty much told me where they were at. And I was quite shocked because I was like, why are y'all there? And she was like, well, we wanted y'all to be the first to know. Today is Jay's last day at work. And we were like, wait a minute. But they called us to tell us that. I mean, that is probably the biggest that's the biggest blessing that I think I received from
when people
this.
quit their job to do this. Like that's always been exciting to me. And I remember Shay, I remember the first vision board I filled out when we started coaching. I said, I want at least 8 people to quit their job doing this. And that was probably year 1, year 2. And we well surpassed that now. Like there's a lot of people that have quit their job to literally do this. So
can I be honest? I think the biggest blessing of that, and we are going to do a room with Frankie and Jay. And we're going to talk about how we navigate the space as a married couple. One being full-time entrepreneurs, because we're both like both couples are set of full-time entrepreneurs. We're like, if you see me, you see him, right? We are each other's shadow. But for the most part, we want to do that. But I think the biggest thing for me was really hearing Francesca's heart and hearing Jay's heart on how much they enjoy doing life together outside of the 9 to 5, the regular rigmarole, right? Being able to nurture greater relationships with their children, their adult kids, their little kids, because of having that freedom and that time. They got to buy their time back. And that to me is honestly the biggest reward that I've been able to that's the biggest reward I've received in this since I've left corporate America, is not only seeing myself get to put in quality time with my husband, my family as well, but seeing other wives and husbands and other entrepreneurs really be able to build something bigger than them and be able to bring their children into different places, right? Seeing her children, her adult son, she's got twin boys, they're starting businesses and watching them do all this stuff. And it's just like, wow, who would have thought, right? But I'm off my plane. That's it. That just touched my little heart.
Good stuff. So you guys continue with the questions. I love it. But again, guys, the independent living facility, guys, is a no-brainer. It's an easy way to get into real estate. We call it the stepping stones, right? So, again, getting into real estate, most people think you got to buy it, but you don't. You guys can get into real estate by leasing or renting the property, still run your business out of it. That's called a rental arbitrage. And then later in life, you now can buy property, guys. That's what got us into the real estate game. Remember, y'all, I was the poor social worker making 28 grand a year, begging God, how could I make that 28 grand a month? I said, because God, you showed me a lady making 41 grand a month doing this in rats and roaches, mistreating your people. So again, like that was a prayer. And I said, God, I want to teach it to other people, because you are no favoritism over people. Nope. You will do it for me and you'll do it for anybody else. The difference with me, though, is I'm going to teach it. I got a big mouth. I want to tell people like the goodness of God and how this can cause you to leave your 9 to 5. But again, you don't have to. My brother, God bless him, my brother kept his job and did this. Had over 10 ILFs. So if you're somebody that likes to double up because you love your job, have at it. But if you like me and Miss Joanne, Joanne just told y'all in that chat. Joanne said, I can't wait to leave my job. See, Joanne was kind of like me, right? Although I worked around great people, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't like the job per se, but I worked around great people. I thought I was helping people,
Yeah.
but I wanted to help people more than what I was, right? So again, I just figured out that through renting or leasing a property and doing the same thing that I was doing as a social worker, making 28 grand a year, except now I'm not calling to give the person away. I'm possibly housing
Right.
that guy myself. And that's why we're also excited about every Saturday, because every Saturday we teach people at 10 a.m. how to do what we do, but you never need the property. You don't need to buy one or rent one or lease one. It's called the HRA, Housing Referral Agency. So at our website, forstonconsultants.com, we literally have a webinar that can show you how to still house the homeless, make an impact and make an income, literally without having or buying or leasing any property. Michelle, you have something?
No, sir.
Okay, I saw you waving
I
over
have
there.
questions. I
Sure.
do.
Let's go. I love
So
questions.
do you recommend starting this business in a personal home?
Personal
In your
home?
personal home, in your personal home.
I do not, but I can answer that in another way too, though,
Go
right?
for it.
I got a whole video about that one, probably released 3 weeks ago. But you want to separate, your personal life and this business, right? But I also answer that in the same breath as saying, if you speak to your family, your wife, your spouse,
Mhm.
and y'all cool with it, it may work. But if you have children, this is not going to work. So if you want to say, Derek, just give me an answer, bro. No, do not do this in your personal home unless you're the only one living in it and you plan on leaving. So anybody, and there's only been 2 people so far in the whole time I've been
Yeah.
teaching this, it's been 2 people that says, well, Derek, I want to get in it. I've taken your coaching, my phone going crazy, but I ain't got that house yet. And Derek, I don't
Yeah.
mind using my place. I give them certain ways that they can still pull that off, but the goal is that they eventually move out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want
Bye-bye.
you living in that place, right? That's your program. So to answer your question, I'm gonna just say no. We do not, because he did use the word recommend, or she used the word recommend. So no, we do not recommend starting
Yeah.
this in your own house. And if you got a spouse, I could have never sold this to Shay
Oh,
that we gonna move people
heck
here.
no.
I don't even want that as bad as I wanted it. Now, I'll admit, if I was a single guy and I never met Shay, and this was my only way to get in the game, absolutely.
Oh, why not?
I would have kept them probably the smallest room in here. I would have turned my master into probably 2 more beds, and every other room 2 more beds. And then eventually I would have moved out and got my own place. Okay, Shay,
All right. So
any input from you on that, Shay?
I'm going to say the same, right? I tell people also, like, I'm coaching a young lady and I'm telling her to change her mind about the model, right? She's going to be a college student. Her family wants to do something as acquiring assets in their children's name to help them just branch out and launch. If you have a duplex, go for it. If you have a multifamily, hats off to you. Run with it. But again, just being able to separate your business from your pleasure. That's going to be the biggest key.
Okay.
Next question, Sir
I
Derek.
love questions. This is good. I love it.
If they are using the home address, does that make them tenants and difficult to evict them in this business model?
Right. So I see where you're going with that, but no, we've never had a problem with that per se. Right. But I also just learned this new wording, and I'm going over with my team and my lawyers. We're going to change a lot of the words that we use. Prime example, like even right now, we don't have leases.
We don't.
But we're even going to change that name soon. So our leases are not leases. So here's some free coaching. We use something that's called an occupational agreement. Well, no, excuse me. Occupancy agreement. Big difference. But I just learned something that's new, and I'm gonna run it by my lawyers and our team, and we may even be changing that. But to answer your original question, no, I want them to use that address. Actually, I get that question a lot. Derek, what they use the address, don't it prove that they live here and I can't kick them out? No, I just go through the regular eviction process if it comes to that point. But to answer your original question, I actually want them to use that address because he's got to get services there. His check may be coming there. His medications may be coming there. You just never know. But no, I don't have a problem with them using the address of where they're living, and it does not make it difficult to evict them.
Correct.
We have a whole protocol on how we evict people, and it's a little different.
And
It's
occupancy
nicer.
and occupancy agreements have so much verbiage in them that, yeah, but the
And
courts
another
love
great
us.
thing too, Shay, I don't mean to cut you off, but all of our paperwork that we give people inside of the ILF Mastery Blueprint is vetted through a lawyer anyway.
Yes.
So all of our paper, in fact, the sale price right now of the ILF Mastery Blueprint is actually cheaper than what the paperwork costs to get it approved by the lawyer.
Listen, that's not even.
That's why I told somebody yesterday, you guys are stealing this from me at that scholarship price, and I don't mind it. I love it, but just know, for my lawyer to create the leases, the hand, and to go with all of that stuff, that was more than the $5 or the $7,000. Because Shay put that special at the bottom of that screen. So if you guys are smart, you do that too.
Asking about that, I hope you see the streamer that's going behind the bottom of the screen.
So if you missed the email, Shay blessed y'all actually.
Yep.
So that's a whole inside thing there.
I'm gonna announce it. How about that? I'm gonna be a blessing tonight because I'm excited about my new house. So if you are interested in joining the ILF Mastery Blueprint family, today is the last day. Text the phrase "be mine"
BEMINE
to 407-326-0086. That is the discount rate that is only available up until tonight. That disappears at midnight, and I can't fix it.
I think it's like at 9 o'clock actually. So
no, I think it's midnight.
Okay.
Yeah. And once that goes, I don't know how to fix it, so don't ask me. Okay. I may be techie, but that is not in my description, so I don't know how to work it. They don't teach me certain things that they don't want me to learn. So I'm all right with that. But so definitely, if you are interested in joining the ILF Mastery Blueprint and becoming a member of our internal coaching, our handheld coaching, like Tiffany, like Katara, like Joanne, like Dornico, all of the plethora of ILF Mastery Blueprint members all over the nation that are running and operating functional ILFs, which is independent living facilities, and are making a huge difference in their community. You better take advantage. Text "be mine" BEMINE to 407-326-0086. Now, I told Tiffany, I'm gonna spank you and Tiffany. I told Tiffany, put this in our community because I want to take a deep dive into this one, but we can answer it.
Oh,
But
I just saw it at the top here.
dive.
So it says, when you own your own ILF, do you get general liability on both the ILF business and the home itself? So
that's why I want to take a deep dive.
Great question. I'm gonna try to skim across it. So with my general liability policy, I'm in Florida. This could be different anywhere you go, right? I don't want to say in where you live, Tiffany, but where I live at, my general liability policy covers my business and what I'm doing, right? And those houses that I'm doing it out of. Do I need something that's separate outside of that, right? We're going to go a little deeper in the community, but without me trying to give overall advice to everybody, the way that I'm going to view this and the way that I'm going to see it today, both because the way that we have that house insured, it's going to cover that. And plus I got the general liability policy. So some people are going to do that differently and try to do both or do something and maybe not have, but we actually have a special kind of insurance that's on that rental property because you have to have it through the lender anyway.
Right.
And then I'm still using my general liability policy to run the business out of that place.
Correct.
So no matter how many properties I get, that policy is going to cover me wherever I'm doing that business.
So if we have 70 properties, we got that 70 property.
Because if Tyrone slip and fall to this property tomorrow, I'm covered. And I had to have that even before buying the property. So that was a special kind of insurance there. But my general liability is typically going to cover all of that. But Tiffany, Shay and I like to do things, I'm going to say so right, that we still going to run that by our lawyer. Because remember, this is the first one that we own that would be an ILF.
Right.
So we still gonna run all of that by them just to make sure. But typically that general liability policy is going to cover you in all the properties that you're running out of.
And Tiffany, don't forget, please put that in the community so we can let's talk about it. I want to be able to come back and address that for the people that were unable to come in tonight. We can have a good discussion about that. I want to discuss. Let's have some conversation. Let's do
Yeah.
some lives in the community,
That
y'all.
house, but just to be clear again, man, that house is gonna have insurance,
Yeah.
but I'm still gonna have my general liability policy with that property as one of the places that I do business out of.
I lost it.
Absolutely.
There was a question that I just lost. That was asking, can I partner? Can for profits partner with nonprofits in regards to this business model?
Shay?
I'm going to say yes, but I even said it at the beginning, right? Certain things or certain nonprofits will not be able to partner with LLCs. It just depends. Prime example, like I talked about earlier, when it comes to one of the nonprofits that I partner with, that's going to assist me in the process of furnishing the new house that you all have seen. That program only works with nonprofits. Okay. Um, Now, on the other hand, when it comes to the housing providers, like I said earlier in this chat, in this live, was most of your your nonprofit organizations are going to be your bigger nonprofit organizations, or not-for-profit organizations are going to be the ones that get these big grants, whether it's the EOC grants and all of those other great federal funds that come down the pike. They are partnering with whoever they need to partner with to get the job done, right? But it's better when you can be a nonprofit and partner with that organization to be written into the grant, so that you have your own portion of the grant to just provide the housing. So now you're involved in that organization's program. So, prime example, somebody put in the chat earlier that they think the young lady that had all the houses making all that money had a contract. No, she didn't. What she did is she partnered with another organization and she became their sole houser. So it wasn't a contract per se, it was grant dollars that she was able to obtain because someone wrote her into their grant as the landlord or the housing provider for this said organization. So that's how that works. But yes, you can partner with nonprofit, for profit, but it just depends on where the funds are coming from. Go ahead, Derek.
Good stuff. There's a question from Uchina. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Do you feed your island residents complimentary once in a while? I love the way that you use
I love the
complimentary,
once in a while.
right?
Thing.
And the once in a while. Because my original is that no, we do not provide food. All of my clients believe that they're chefs and that they can cook really well. In fact, if you see my YouTube channel, I got a whole video on, like, I walked into that large house, the estate, and my guys literally chefing up and cooking, chopped salad, fried chicken, all of that. So to be honest with you, ma'am, I can probably count on one hand how many times I've took them food that I made, probably once or twice in my life. But other than that, I'll send pizza in a minute. I'll order Domino's in a minute if I want to congratulate them or thank them. So a part of my coaching tells me that because I'm so busy and I want to scale this to as many houses as possible, I got a rule that if my clients don't bother me all month long, they don't harm or hurt each other, they don't break any rules, I'm going to provide a pizza party, or I'm going to go to walmart.com and order some chicken leg quarters and have them delivered,
Yeah.
so that they can bake them or barbecue them or grill them or whatever they want to do. So the bottom line to your question, no, we don't provide food, but every now and again, because they've done great things, good behavior. If I needed a room that needed to be cleaned up, prime example, the room that you're seeing on the screen right now, let's just say all three of those people left today. I'm gonna call my two best guys in this house. They're gonna go and wash all of that linen, revamp this whole room, sweep and mop the floor, dust everything, dry all the linen and all the pillowcases, and put it back on the beds and make those beds up the same way that you see it. I don't ask them to do that for free because I don't want to drive 45 minutes to go do that.
Right.
So I'm gonna go, hey, Rob, you and Mike, you know Jeff and Bobo left, right?
Not Bobo.
That one room where they were at, can you guys go and revamp that? Me and my wife use a word called revamp. All my clients know what this means. That means that somebody left and they didn't wash my sheets. They didn't wash the pillow. They didn't sweep the floor. I wish they would have. But guess what my guy Rock, Byron, and Jeff gonna do? They're going to go in this room and they're going to sweep. They're going to mop. They're going to spray Fabulosa everywhere. They're going to wipe the walls down. They're going to throw all of that linen in the washing machine that I provide for them. They're going to put fabric sheets in there. But if it's got a hole in it or if it's raggedy, they throw it out. Otherwise, we're going to wash all of that stuff and make the beds up just like you see in that picture, so that when my virtual assistant Jess gets the phone call, that's where they're going to go, ladies and gentlemen. 7 years ago, God and I built Second Chance Housing. But 12 months ago, I gave my whole program over to a virtual assistant named Jess. Most of y'all in this room have spoken to Jess at one time or another. Virtual assistants, guys, are the cheat code to what we do in life and in business. Can you imagine that? Years ago, God and I built Second Chance Housing. Jess lives in the Philippines and works for $5 an hour and runs my whole program. That's the cheat code.
Yeah, that is. I have another question coming from Instagram. So the first question is, do grant dollars, are we allowed to purchase property with grant dollars? Unfortunately not. Now, unless you have private donor dollars, then yes, but actual Fed grant dollars, most of your grant funds are not for brick and mortar. They can be for operational expenses or program expenses. So when I'm talking about partnering with a nonprofit organization that has a program built out, you've got a lot of these mental health organizations and hospitals that have all of the social service end of it, but they don't have the long-term or the transitional housing piece. So they write you or your company in as the houser. And when they have you positioned that way, the bed fees have to now go into that stipend or that fund per client or per patient. So as those patients are being discharged, and as long as they're in their program, that's how you get paid out of those grant dollars. But most grants, I believe that was a big to do. That was changed several years back, that they will not allow grant funds to be used for brick and mortar. You cannot build with grant dollars.
Good stuff. Great questions too, man. Thank y'all for the questions. We love questions. From Talia. That's my niece's name. So thank you so much for your question, Ms. Hope. She says, for the homes that are rented out, are the homeowners okay with the home being used as an ILF?
They have to be.
Shay, talk about it.
They have to be. Our goal is to take people from homeless to hopeful, not from homeless to homeless.
Come on, Shay.
Right? For the most part, we never omit what we are doing with a landlord or a homeowner. We never tell them that this is, we don't give them all of the information on the residents, because we want to make sure that we're maintaining HIPAA. We do keep our residents' information very private. But when it comes to this housing model and you are renting, absolutely 100%, you want the landlord or the homeowner to know. For me, I'm blessed. I have one of my rentals that is a private owner. One of my other rentals is under property management. And that's something we don't really like people to do, but it just so happened that I was blessed that way. The owner and the property manager was able to explain what I do, how I do it. And it helps that I'm a nonprofit.
And most people, they don't care what it is, as long as you pay that rent on time.
Yeah.
Believe that.
Yeah. So yes, we definitely share.
Don't get that twisted.
You have to. I tell people all the time, please.
That's a great question too.
Like, please do not go in this not letting landlords know what you're doing. And then you've got a grand opening, and as Otis would have said, a grand closing. Because we've seen it happen. We've literally seen people that call us on the back end of getting a house and saying, I have this house, now what? And that's why Derek wrote the book. I have an ILF, now what? Because we got that phone call. People went and got houses and didn't tell landlords, and landlords come to do walkthroughs, and they're like, well, wait a minute, what you got going on here? Everybody out. You got to go. Yeah. And it just becomes
that's the opposite of what we're trying to do.
Not what we want to do.
Trying to house people, not get them kicked out. So if you don't tell the owner, that could cause all of you all to be kicked out.
And we foster great relationships with our owners. Most of our owners are super excited about our owners go to the houses and hang out with the client.
We don't like that all the time, but they do.
But like I've got owners that I'll go to my lady's house, and one of my owners is always at the kitchen table and they are feeding this gentleman. And I'm like, man, don't your wife cook? And I've come in on several times
Because we
and
got some old ladies that can
they
cook.
love to cook. And he just
And they want to
loves,
feed people.
yeah, he just loves their conversation. Like they talk about everything.
Yeah.
And then the wife was there one day, and I'm like, oh Lord, I can't get rid of y'all people in my IMF. You want a room? But no, we definitely foster great relationships when it comes to the homeowner and what we do. And that is a non-negotiable. If the owner says no, then no, it is. Yep.
Yep, good stuff. So, guys, that book that you see on the screen, go ahead and scan that QR code. For many years, people used to ask us, Derek, what in the world are y'all saying to these homeowners to rent their house? How do you do that? And we never would tell people unless it was inside of the I Love Mastery Blueprint. But I decided probably about 8 months ago, we put it in a book now. So we don't hide that, and you don't have to get our package to know the verbiage because we want people to do it right. So there's the right people you need to talk to, and there's the right verbiage. So I give you everything you need to know in this book of what it sounds like, what to say, and even what to wear the day of. So even your clothing and your branding is very important. What I love about this book for 97 bucks, not only do you get the book, but you also get the recording of my brother and I role playing what it sounds like when you're talking to the case manager. What does it sound like when you're talking to the social worker? And what in the world are we saying to the homeowner to allow them to rent the house? So, guys, go ahead and scan that real quick. That way you'll just have it. It's only $97. And again, this breaks down how do we get the property? How do we get the yes in terms of when you present it? How the owner says, well, you know what? Let's give it a try. No problem. Hey, what's going on, family? I super hope you guys are enjoying this information. But let's just say you want more one-on-one coaching, just like what you're receiving now. You're actually looking for our ILF Mastery Blueprint. So that's our hand-holding one-on-one coaching, where that's what most of the people that come to us, that's what they want. They don't want to just watch me on YouTube all the time, right? They want me in their back pocket for one-on-one coaching. And what's super powerful about it right now, that there's a scholarship that's actually available that brings that down to only $7,500, a long ways from the normal price of the 15 grand. So even doing this live right now, if you guys text IMB below, my team can send you over some information. But nevertheless, definitely go over and see forstonconsultants.com and check us out there as well. Let's get back to the show. All right, good stuff, good stuff. So, guys, that is that book. Go ahead and scan that QR code, share it with your friends and your family, because that's the cheat code of how we get these properties. If I were to judge probably on a scale of 1 to 10 of the most frequently asked questions, this will probably fall in the top 5 easily. Derek, what in the world are you guys saying to these homeowners to get these properties? So, Shay, what other questions might you have?
We've got more preguntas.
Let's do it. I love it.
All right. So yes. So Jennifer says, so they sponsor the client, correct? That client will have to be a part of their program, and you are a now vetted housing provider for that program. How long does it last? As long as their grant funds come. Some people are residual, some people are annual grant recipients. Some people are quarter grant recipients. Some people just get it once and they mismanage the funds and they never get accepted again. It really it depends on the organization. I've worked with organizations that have lost grant funding right in the middle of the grant session or season, where they've literally come in to do their audit, because these are federal funds. So they come in to do their audit, and their paperwork was a hot ghetto mess. And guess what? They had clients. I think I had one or two of the clients. I only had one or two clients. I think maybe two, from that program that lost funding in the middle of that session. And it just so happened that they had enough funds to pay me out instead of it being 6 months, they were able to do 3 and 3. So I had two young ladies that were able to get 3 months of housing. And then what I did is I worked with them, because I had private donors and private donor funds that I was able to utilize in that. And then I was able to get some of my community funds, like the Walmart grants, the Publix grants, stuff like that, to help facilitate that time frame that they needed to be with me. The other question is, do you have co-ed houses? Do you have co-ed houses, Derek?
By default, we actually took over one. So I naturally don't do co-ed personally. My
I
brother
don't.
used to always say that co-ed brings balance. He loved it. But I'll
Otis was
admit
king
I
of
don't
co-ed.
prefer co-ed. But we've been kind of inching that way. So for the, I won't say the first time, but for the first time in many years, we took back over an ILF that we kind of did a diamond package to about a year and a half ago to a person. It ended up coming back to us, and when it came back to us, it had like 7 clients in it. 2 of the clients were female, right? So, and they were a good fit at the time, and seemingly still kind of sort of a good fit. So we left it. We didn't want to kind of disrupt it. The guys and the girls got along just great. And usually, like my brother used to always say it, typically when you do co-ed, the men would take on the men roles, the women would take on the women roles. So the women did all the cooking, the guys fixed stuff, they took the trash out, right? They swept the floor and mopped as the women would cook. So they would split the chores. And again, trust me, y'all, my brother loved it. Again, I don't see anything wrong with it. That was just not my personal preference. So, and the way that my brother decided to go co-ed was when he first started, his first call was for a female. Second call was for a male. And they were both great people. And he didn't mind mixing them. So just to answer your original question, you can go co-ed. We actually do it, but that's not my preference. Miss Shay, how do you want to answer that?
I think I enjoy co-ed a little bit more now that we've gotten a co-ed facility, but it does make the assessment process a lot trickier. We have to be a lot more cautious of who we bring into the house. Excuse me, because of the mixed population. So I think that, yes, it brings balance, but it also makes me move slower in getting the
Yeah,
beds filled.
that's a good point.
Because I have to now be more mindful of all of the personalities. Women's personalities are completely different from men, and they've gotten a great balance. But now I have to look at this individual, whether it's another, if it's another female, Lord God bless me. But I think with that, I think that's probably the only intricate part of it that I don't like I don't like all that much. Men in a house together are typically a lot more easier to deal with. Women in
So
a
even
house
as a
together,
female, for you, Shay, you're saying males are more easier to deal with.
yes, I
Explain that
prefer
so
a
that
house.
the women
So
can understand.
prime example, I go to Derek's houses by myself, could care less. The guys are, I'm like their daughter when I get to the house. Everything is, hey, Shay. I sit down, I talk, I hang out. Um, I'm very comfortable in the setting with the gentlemen. They don't want to make me mad. They don't want to upset me. And that's the part that I love. So where Derek will be like, well, we'll see what Shay has to say about
They'll
this.
upset me in a minute. They don't mind that, but they don't want to
They
disappoint
don't
Shay.
want to disappoint me.
Yeah.
And that's
That's a
kind of,
good thing.
that was funny when I first saw it. I was like, dang.
But I told Shay that. I said the guys are going to respect you
All
more
right,
than
Derek,
me.
I'm gonna tell him that I made
Yeah.
one of the clients cry. Remember that, Derek?
Is it New York?
I
Oh
I made
yeah.
him cry.
And guys,
I
honestly,
did.
Shay did nothing to make him cry.
I did.
He disappointed Shay and he felt bad about it.
And he
How many
cried.
of y'all got kids and when they're little, sometimes when they disappoint you, they just cry because they know that you're disappointed
Yep.
and they don't want to let you down? That's what this was.
We had,
Yeah.
and I'll share a brief story about that.
Yeah.
We actually had we were asked to do some work at another organization. And I said, okay, no problem. I'll bring some of the fellas because my ladies aren't capable of doing it. So Derek and I organized to bring some of the guys. Just so happened that one of our guys decided that he was going to show up drunk. Okay. Never drank, not a drinker, and just showed up drunk. I mean, falling all over the place. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I looked at him. I said, if you don't get back in that truck, we're going to have a problem. And he looked at me. He says, but I'm okay. I'm okay, Michelle. I'm okay. No, get in the truck now. We are leaving. And he sat in the back seat and he's like, I'm sorry. Pero I'm sorry, Michelle. I'm sorry. And I was like, I want to hear it. And he cried the whole way home.
He didn't tear up for me at all, y'all. And that's the whole point of this. When Shay got in his face, he just
I was
broke.
like, what are you
Because
doing?
disappointing Shay is different. And guys, like when you do this with your spouse or your business partner, y'all are going to find a groove. Shay and I play good cop, bad cop
Yes.
a lot. And again, in our experience, they don't want to disappoint Shay. I'm going to talk the loudest. I'm the biggest and baddest. They don't have to do all that loud talking like me. I'm just loud for no reason, y'all. Shay just has to come and just show her face and give a look like that mother would.
Yeah.
And some of them just,
and it's quite
right?
interesting.
So it's
to
pretty
see.
cool because when women ask us, Derek, should I house women or men? I'll be honest, the men are going to respect you way more than the women. And then for the guys, which may not be all the way safe, but if y'all house women, it's easier on y'all than the lady housing the women. It's just different. Okay. Shay?
So another question: any alcohol? No drinking, no drugs.
What was that?
Our clients are allowed to drink. No, this person just went out partying.
That's in our rule book. So
like, this person went out, hung out, and knew that there was a time that we were all going out to go and do some work at another organization. And this individual was so helpful. Like, he was one of our best workers. Guys, I ran Toro for about a year, and he was my number one car wash.
He was a detailer.
He was my car wash dude.
A lot of our clients have had jobs over the years with us.
He would ride, like we would ride, like hey, we'll bend some corners. Me and this client, what? My ace. We worked together. Like, he was my partner, my business partner. If I needed to drop off a vehicle and Derek wasn't ready, I took him. He had a driver's license. I said, let's go. He'd be like, all right, I'm ready. And we'll go. But he was just, one day he had a little bit of, I don't know. He went to a little shindig and got shindigged.
I'm telling you.
But showed up to work. So look at the work ethic, right? Still showed up to work. And I'm like, bro, you for real right now? No, we ain't doing this.
The next question was, it's funny, but you guys are asking a lot of stuff that I literally just shot videos on. So I'm telling you guys, there is no question that you guys can probably ask us that there's not already a video for. That's how thorough we are. But we love it so much, I'm going to answer it anyway. It comes from the Instagram channel. Do you guys have cameras in your facilities? Absolutely, we do. It's for the protection for me and my program and the well-being of everybody that lives there. And there's no option. So we're moving in people. We tell them, hey, buddy, there's cameras in this house, but that's for your protection, my protection, and protection of that program.
I got to hang cameras tomorrow.
And my program told me to put them in here, not me, Derek. Yeah. So that's how we do that. So yes, ma'am, we do have cameras, but never in the bedrooms. All common areas, kitchen, hallway, right? Dining room, living room area, never in the bedrooms.
I have a joke. One of Derek's clients goes in front of the camera. We don't never see it. He just always tells us. He's like, this guy wouldn't wash the dishes. So I walked in front of the camera and I pulled him in front of the camera too and said, listen, man, you see this eye in the sky? I need for them to know that I'm talking to you, my friend, to tell you gotta wash the dishes. So
gotta do it.
When he told me around what time.
Major rule for us. No dishes in the sink. That causes roaches.
When he went and he told us around, he was like, Miss Shay, I'm calling you to let you know that I put such and such in front of the camera. And I told him, because I wasn't going to tell him off to get in trouble, but I wanted y'all to know that I corrected it. And I said, so what time was this? I went to the camera and he showed us. I went back to the footage and he showed us. He's like, so you going to wash the dishes, right? Tell the camera yes. Tell the camera yes.
He's taking leadership role in that house. And we love it.
It was awesome.
Because he makes everybody else better.
Yeah,
because I'll admit I got two lazy guys in there, but behavior's great. But wanting to do the dishes, wanting to sweep the floor, they don't want to really do it. But this guy, he's gonna kind of get on him and make him do it. So that leadership, and after 3 or 4 months of that, probably 3 months of that,
becomes habit.
He's not gonna have to do it. It's just habit. Now, do I put that in place? No. Are we just blessed to have it? Yes. Absolutely. So over time, you guys are going to see that certain clients are going to be leaders. And they're going to help you run that place. And you guys are going to learn that when you get multiple properties, that's what's going to help you guys run it. Not only your camera system, but some of the certain clients that you're housing, they're going to be a major part of what you're doing. I want to answer another question by showing y'all this picture. I've never done this, but watch this. This is a cul-de-sac that when I first got into this, I said, God, you know what? It'd be really cool to have every house in this cul-de-sac. Now, you guys can't see the whole picture, but to the right of that is a pink house.
That's mine.
That's where Shay's women are. One of them, right? But there's over 8 houses in this one cul-de-sac that we kind of run and operate. But from day one, I said, God, you know what? I ain't trying to covet these people's houses, but God, I want you to give me this whole cul-de-sac one day. And y'all, slowly but surely, he actually kind of did it. Enough so that we begin to rent those houses out to other people to do this same thing that we were teaching in Orlando. So there's a lot of people that we teach this to that we just give you the property because sometimes it just falls in my lap. So as an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, if I get a call for a property and I'm teaching you and I don't need the property or I don't want it, guess who I'm going to give it to?
Next in line.
You, if I feel like you're ready. So depending on where you're at in your coaching, if I get a call for a house like this and you're ready, and if I feel you ready, I'm going to say congratulations and Merry Christmas. I'm going to give you the relationship with this owner because he loved me. He go a house. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And this is how we start a lot of people. But watch this, though. Watch this picture, and I'm going to combine this with something that Shay said. Watch this. Let me see if I'm going in the right direction. And I'm not.
Probably that.
Okay. So again, here's the house, but watch this. There it is. Notice that's the same house.
Yeah.
Notice what Shay told y'all earlier about getting the word out and by doing an open house. Guys, if you live in Orlando, Florida right now, you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint, you just bought a house yesterday as well. Angela, Kim, and Rita and Ken, Tanae.
Yes.
Anybody that's close to us, or if you want to travel and you live in Texas, no problem. Because if you're an ILF Mastery Blueprint member, you guys can hold open houses like this. Guess who all of those people are? Social workers, case managers. There's a pastor. My mom is there with that shortcut hair. Shay is probably holding that camera. Lynette, my accountant, has got the jean jacket on. The lady and the guy that's holding the ribbon, we dedicated the house to their family member. The first client God ever entrusted me with was named Obed Gonzalez. Obed, sadly enough, he was actually killed by a drunk driver. Obed loved to walk. He just walk. And one day he didn't come back. We found out about a week and a half later that he was killed by a drunk driver. That touched our hearts so much.
He had no ID, no nothing.
That we wanted to do something to, what's that word, Shay?
For his
memorialize him. We wanted to show respect, in other words. And guys, I was shaking at my boots and I say, Shay, what you think his family would think if I asked him to dedicate this house in his name?
Derek was nervous too. Remember that, Mom?
I was scared because I thought they would think that was an insult. Make a long story short, Shay and my mom convinced me to ask that family, and they agreed to that. So guess what's the name of that facility? Guess whose picture is big and on the wall when you walk in there? Because everybody that lives in that house, you would not be here if it wasn't for Obed Gonzalez.
Yep.
He was the first client God ever entrusted me with in that house. Yeah. So we dedicated it to him, and it's called the Obed Gonzalez House, Glen Lake 3.
You see the picture in the hand right here? Did you notice that?
That's the picture that's in the house.
I know, but
one of them.
No, but I just noticed the picture in his hand.
Absolutely. Shay, I'm glad you said it. Guys, if y'all got y'all glasses on, his other brother is holding a picture of him. Now, that's one of the pictures, but everybody will have to see that picture and know who he is that lives in that place. Because if it wasn't for that guy, none of you other guys would live here. Mm-hmm. And guys, I dedicated that house to that gentleman and his family, and they cut the ribbon that day. But aside from that, guess what we also turned it into? This is also on my YouTube channel. This was a whole walkthrough, a brand new unveiling of a brand new ILF. The furniture is beautiful, gently used. So to answer that other question in the chat, no, it don't have to be used. Brand new furniture. Most of the items that I started ILF with, they come from my house, my private home. Even the house that we just bought, a lot of that stuff is going to come from my house that I'm sitting in right now today. My dining room table, gone. That other table that sits in my kitchen, Shay, I don't know the name of it, gone.
Yep.
Maybe my living room sofa set, gone. Guys, I got a bigger need that's ahead of me. I don't need no sofa to sit on. I got 2 couches. Get rid of one of them.
Yeah.
God's going to honor that because you're helping somebody else. So again, guys, back to the point. This house was an invite to people to come and see what we do. Case managers, social workers. Guys, I was a discharge planner for 9 years. You want to invite these kind of people to show them this kind of stuff, so that when Jess, my VA, answers the phone from the social media she's already doing, all of this ties in together. I don't run my program today, guys, the way that I did 6 years ago. 12 months ago, I gave this whole program over to Jess. And now we teach you all how to do the same thing with that ILF Mastery Blueprint. So again, it's on a crazy scholarship sale for $7,500. But today is actually the last day. My team did a Valentine's Day sale. I think it started on like the 14th or the 13th, where that ILF Mastery Blueprint, guys, is only $5,000, right? So the paperwork that comes with it is actually worth more than that. So I'm allowing you guys to steal this package from me. And if you've met somebody in this room that's like-minded like you guys can actually go in together. So big shout out to that family last week that did the same thing. 2 sisters did it. 2 strangers did it 2 weeks before that. They met in this room live on YouTube. Didn't know each other, but they both wanted to do it. They joined together. They actually did the scholarship one, though, because the sale actually wasn't on at that point. So if you know somebody that you want to do this with, by all means, guys, we love that and we don't mind it. It kind of gives you an accountability partner. But again, if you just joined us, we're teaching you guys how to lease or rent a house and then build relationships with social workers and case managers as your funnel system. Because in other words, how are you going to get these clients? How will people know about who you are? That's what's on this slide, connecting with social workers and case managers, hospitals, substance abuse places, social services, the Goodwill, the Salvation Army, your local mental health hospital. My flyer game is sick, guys. I hand out flyers everywhere. Networking with housing providers, people that have ALFs, ILFs, people that just rent rooms. You guys could go to Craigslist. Y'all could go to Facebook Marketplace, and there's posts all the time that says we rent rooms. You guys can even help those people simply by becoming an HRA. Remember, the HRA stands for Housing Referral Agency, where you don't need no houses. You don't have to buy one or rent one. You only use your cell phone and you use relationship. So if you're interested in how to house the homeless and the displaced without needing property, tune into our HRA webinar. That's at forstonconsultants.com/webinars. Watch both of them. The HRA is about 14 minutes long. The ILF one is about an hour long. Yep. Watch them both. Because again, I want to see y'all Saturday, 10 a.m., because that's where we talk about how to do this. But you don't have the property. You don't buy one and you don't rent one. You use relationship and a cell phone and an internet connection and turn yourself into a housing referral agency. So again, forstonconsultants.com/webinars and watch the HRA webinar. Miss Shay, back to you.
That's it. I mean, Derek, we are well over our time tonight.
We over,
right?
By 28 minutes, by 30 minutes.
Yep. Dornico will be proud of us.
I hope I gave value tonight. Hoping you guys gained a lot of information. In fact, put a thumbs up or number 7 in the chat if you learned something tonight. If you guys enjoyed this room, either give me a thumbs up or put a number 7 in the chat.
Really deep tonight.
This room is all we did, Shay.
And that's usually a pow.
This room is also recorded. So for the people that are asking, yes, every room that we have is recorded. Yes. So when you guys go to YouTube, hit that link that says live. Every live that we do is over 2.5 hours usually. Yep. Every live, guys, is usually 90 minutes or more, but mostly in that 2-hour range. So do yourself a favor and definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share this room too, right? I would love it if 10 people can share this room. Miss Taylor, if you can share this to your pastor, your bishop, or just your homegirl, or anybody that loves real estate, but also loves helping people. Because this is it. If you guys love God, love people, and love real estate, this is a no-brainer. You'd be almost crazy not to get into this, especially during the sale, or even if you don't get the sale, but tap into the scholarship. Thank you, Miss Angela. She says great information. So again, people have lied to y'all because they lied to me. Derek, you can't start no housing program if you don't have a license, if you don't own the property. The devil is a liar. Yes, you can. I quit my job in 2019 to do this. And every property I have, other than the one that we just bought, they're all rentals. And I communicate and build relationships with social workers and case managers through Instagram, through Facebook, through TikTok, and through flyers I hand out all throughout the city. That's what makes the phone ring. And then that's how we move people into something that looks just like this.
That's it.
Guys, I land my plane to Shay. I'm gonna let you bless the people before we go. We'll pray them out of here. And then we'll see y'all tomorrow. Because
Right.
remember,
You can't forget about tomorrow.
every Tuesday we talk about virtual assistants. Meaning, how do we take a team of people like this? I show y'all my whole team usually every Tuesday, but Shay and I own 8 different businesses. How in the world can we do that if we don't have help?
Exactly.
And that's where the VAs come in at. And then again, the best CRM system in the world is called Digital Flow Solutions. Shay, if you can put it in the chat, digitalflowsolutions.net. This is where to take your business and blow it through the roof, no matter what you do. So whether you house the homeless, whether you fry chicken and you sell it, whether you bake chocolate chip cookies and you sell that, or whether you mow grass and you're a landscaper, you need a website and an internet presence and a virtual assistant that could be booking appointments for your business. So we merge those two together every Tuesday. That's Shay's room. I'm not supposed to do a lot of talking in that room, but I end up taking it over sometime. But tomorrow, I'm going to try to just be zip, unless I see somebody that gets confused, because that's why I usually jump in that. But again, digitalflowsolutions.net. That's where you're going to get your website presence and your website. And va101.co is where you're going to get your virtual assistants. Because again, guys, remember, God and I built Second Chance Housing. But 12 months ago, I trained Jess to be me. So Jess answers all the phone calls, all the email correspondence, and she builds all the relationships in the community to where I just show up with coffee and donuts and talk about my program. And now the phone goes crazy. And Jess does that, guys, for $5 an hour. Now, where I live at, $5 an hour is very affordable. But where she lives at, she's almost rich because she's in a third world country. So $5 an hour, 5 days a week from 9 to 5, she lives a great life. That's right. That's how that works. So Shay, I'm done. Back over to you and let's close it out.
You see what Angela said?
It's time to close. Angela, I'm on it. I'm getting ready to close. Y'all, they got a joke about me that I go on and on and on.
See, Angela?
And then sometime I'll say, y'all, I'm getting ready to close. And then it goes for 15 more minutes, like those Baptist preachers.
Anyway, everybody, it has been a great day.
I'm not a Baptist preacher. I'm not any kind of preacher, but we do love God. We love people and we love real estate. And I hope to see you guys back in this room at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Tomorrow. I love y'all. Shay, bless them real quick and then we out.
All right, everybody, it has been an amazing night. I hope this information has blessed your socks off. Don't forget, for those of you that are interested in taking full advantage of the Be Mine Valentine.
I see a lot of Be Mines and I see a lot of new.
Oh, wow.
Thank y'all so much. We appreciate that.
So we'll be seeing you Be Mines pretty soon, huh? On that first initial consultation.
Absolutely.
So it is exciting. I am overwhelmed and overjoyed that we got to share this room with you all tonight. Thank you for allowing us to impart into you all. And with that being said, I got the hiccups. I am Shay Forston, the founder and president of the Angela Denise Foundation and co-founder of Forston Consultants. If you are looking for a great cause to be a part of, go to AngelaDeniseFoundation.org. Become a member. A donor. Donate. You can go on our site and actually purchase items from our Walmart registry that goes to our houses to help our ladies kind of supplement their income so that they're not just trying to buy things constantly for the house. They can get it from donations coming in. So again, I hope you all enjoyed this room. I look forward to seeing you all here tomorrow. Bring your business. Let me assess your business. Let me see how I can utilize a virtual assistant and softwares and systems to take whatever standing business you have or thoughts that you have of a business to the next level using, again, a virtual assistant and softwares and systems. I'm Shay Forston signing out. God bless.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. And to the lady that asked the question about the VA information, I put it into the chat. I'm going to make sure that it actually went through, but that's www.va101.co. And our VA start at $5 an hour. And they come with a 90-day guarantee. And join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. and bring all your questions, because that's exactly what we talk about. Bring your business or your business idea. VA101 also has a 7-minute video that breaks down our process. Make sure you watch that and also set up a free strategy call. So if you got any questions or concerns about it, after you watch it, bring it tomorrow in the form of a question. Let's learn together and then let you jump right into it. Because again, it's only a one-time cost for $6.97
Correct.
and then $5 an hour. And again, to us, that's the cheat code to life and business. Guys, my name is Derek Forston. I approve this entire message. Thank you all so much. The people that are on Clubhouse, Instagram. Big shout out to my Instagram people, man. You guys just keep coming through. The YouTube channel is getting bigger each and every week. So thank y'all for that as well. Please, if you haven't subscribed by now, make sure that you do subscribe. Hit that notification bell because I don't want you guys to miss any of this great information. Let's also become friends on Facebook at Derek Forston. Let's become friends on TikTok at Derek Forston. But everything else, guys, is at Forston Consultants. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, all of that stuff is at Forston Consultants. And again, just thank y'all so much. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, 6 p.m. I'm going to pray us out of here and I'm going to let y'all go. Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown tonight. Thank you for the ability to give what you gave us. God, today I ask that you open up every door of opportunity for these people. Everybody that's under the sound of my voice, God, I ask that you bless them mightily today. You bless them physically, mentally, and spiritually. Because Father God, without the mind of Christ and an able body, it's hard to do your will. So Father God, today, every person that is in this room, they are healed from the top of their head to the soles of their feet. And there is nothing physically wrong with them. And they have the mind of Christ to do your will. But God, we just so happen to be doing it through real estate. So again, God, bless our endeavors. And God, before these people ever get the keys to their first facility, before they even take the coaching from us, God, we dedicate the program to you now. And we say, thank you, God, for being the CEO and allowing them to be the overseer of that program. But God, we give you all the glory, we give you all the honor, and we give you all the praise. And the devil, you are under our feet, and you have no place in our life, you have no place in our business, and you have no place in our family. So, Father God, we call you God today. You are God and God above all. And there is nothing that you cannot do. By your grace and by your mercy and by your power, you will allow these dreams of these people to come to pass. Because, God, we want to do your will through real estate and housing people. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen.
If y'all believe that, type in the word amen. We love y'all. I pray God's best over each and every one of you. And I'm going to leave y'all with my wife's beautiful single, Sent from Heaven. I'll let her talk it up. I'm going to cue it up, and she can tell you guys where to find it at. But this song will bless y'all heart, right? Play it tomorrow morning on your way to work. And also maybe tonight as you begin to settle down. It's just called Sent from Heaven. I'm going to let you guys get a little taste of it. Shay is multi-talented. Not only does she house people, she writes, produces, and sings music. Shay?
So I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chats for you all so that if you want to go ahead and stream it and download. You
guys are enjoying the content, but I just want to let you know there's still time to apply for the scholarship for the ILF Mastery Blueprint, and that's our one-on-one coaching. So there's a lot that comes with it. So I'm just going to guide you guys to the website so that you can kind of check it out for yourself after we're done here. So you're going to visit forstonconsultants.com. Then you're going to click the tab that says products and services. The first thing that's going to pop up is the ILF Mastery Blueprint. Click that tab that says learn more, and it's literally going to give you step-by-step instruction of what you can do. And it's real easy of how you can apply and win the scholarship to apply to the price so that you can get our one-on-one coaching here at Forston Consultants. Let's get back to the content.